What is going on, guys? I am Pixel Dan, and I'm excited because I get to do a toy hunting thing again. Just something that feels like I don't get to do as often anymore. But this is another one of those days where I'm here for a purpose. Thanks to my good buddy Jason Duvall, I actually got a tip, and I'm here today to pick up what would be considered a Grail for the Masters of the Universe collection. And I know I throw the Grail term around a lot. I kind of don't like using that. Sometimes Grail is the best way to describe something that's, really sought after. But in this case, this I really feel like is a true Masters of the Universe Grail piece. So I'm very excited to pick this up. I am at Andy's Toys in St. Louis, Missouri. So I'm also going to check out the store. I'm going to take you guys with me. We're going to see what we can find, and we're going to get something pretty special for my Masters of the Universe collection. So let's get inside. Yeah! This video is brought to you by The Ridge. The Ridge is light, sleek, and industrial. It doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge in your back pocket, and it seriously changed my whole pocket situation. Let me tell you something. I've been carrying The Ridge for about a year now, and I am amazed at the amount of space that I'm saving, how easy and convenient it is to just carry this thing in my front pocket, and it's got everything I need right there. The Ridge can hold up to 12 cards, plus has room for cash. There's over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium, which is the choice I've got right here. If this wasn't enough to win you over yet, the durable material means that each wallet comes with a lifetime warranty. You could buy this one wallet and carry it for life. The Ridge team is so confident that you'll like it that they'll let you test drive it for 45 days, and then you can send it back for a full refund if you don't love it. So head on over to The Ridge today using my exclusive link down below, theridge.com/pixeldan. With coupon code PixelDan, you can get yourself 10% off today. It's down in the video description as well as in the comments of this video. Now, on with the show. Okay, there's a lot of goodies up on this shelf up here that I want to show you guys, because first of all, I feel like I see these banks out and about all the time, but it's not very often that you actually see the banks still sealed to a vintage box of cookies. Look at that, adventure cookies. It's amazing, and it's got amazing artwork on the box. But even cooler, right behind that, we've got the Marvel Superheroes Presto Magics kit. And I love it because it's got the same kind of theme to the packaging as the old Toy Biz Marvel Superheroes figures. Very cool stuff. We got some great Power Rangers figures. I'm always a big fan of the larger scale Rangers. I love that putty. That putty is so great. But coming down the shelf, there's so much cool stuff. But I wanted to show you guys this too, because I don't feel like I see a lot of Brave Star stuff very often. So we got the Skullwalker back here from the Brave Star toy line, which is very cool. Very cool to see this. Yeah, so look at this, more Brave Star. I love this. I love seeing a boxed Marshall Brave Star here. So cool. Yeah, this is just one of those things I was just saying, I don't run into Brave Star too often while I'm out and about doing this stuff anymore. And it does sort of feel like one of those forgotten kind of toy lines. I don't know, I know people remember Brave Star. I just don't feel like it gets brought up as often anymore when we're talking about a obscure toy lines, you know? This is really cool seeing this. Look at that. That is nice. Got a lot of cool carded stuff over here. We got Gloob Star Trek. We got Space Precinct, which I always love seeing out. We've got Star Wars Bendums, which are Dan Larson's favorite Star Wars figures. You heard that here. That is a fact. These are his favorites. Oh, hey, we got a Sky Strike Stratos down here. It's pretty cool. I feel like I'm seeing less 2000X Masters out and about these days. It's always kind of cool to run across these. And I always love seeing the old Toy Biz Marvel and DC figures. I love them. Love them, love them. I know there's better, but these are just pure nostalgia for me. So this is cool. This is unique. Something from overseas. Super Beast Leadman. Look at the artwork on this, though. That is so great. Wow. There's a pretty nice looking Stridor back here too, which I'm always looking to upgrade figures in my collection. And I know that my vintage one has got some stickers placed on wrong on my personal one at home. So maybe I'll grab a Stridor today.
This Fisher-Price Adventure team came from Egypt.
Oh.
I've got a picker friend in the Middle East, and for his business, he's all over the place. He goes into Cairo to kind of the equivalent of the Toys R Us, but toys aren't that popular over there. It's mostly die cast. And in the back room, it's stuff that's clearanced, didn't sell, and there was one of those on the shelves, and he's taking a picture. He's like, "Isn't this your American, Fisher Price?" I'm like, "Yeah." It says, "That's still sealed, like it's been sitting on the shelf since 1979." He's like, "Yeah."
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Like, "Where's the price?" He's like, it comes down to basically $2. And I'm like, "Can you ask them if they have other like late 70s, early 80s stuff from that time period in their like storage area or something?" I don't know how big stores are in Cairo, Egypt.
Right.
He's like, "Yeah, I'll ask him." He had 2 cases of Fisher-Price stuff that just never sold back in the day. This was sort of a foreign concept, I guess, over there. Just like nobody cared about it.
That's amazing.
And we had the cases weren't full, but partially. The Northwood Trailblazer set, Cycle Racing Team, Firestar, which is probably the cooler one, sort of almost a Star Wars looking.
Yeah, I've actually got just the minifigure from that set.
Yeah, it's a neat set.
Yeah.
And he had one dragster, but I told him just to buy it all. I knew shipping was going to be outrageous from Egypt, and it was, but how cool is that, though, to have old store stock from Egypt?
That is so cool. Man, it's just amazing that, like, this stuff still just turns up all the time. Yep. It's amazing.
Yep, still out there. Who bought a house in South St. Louis, and they found it in their attic.
Really?
There were about 3 or 4 of them, and she couldn't figure out why they were up there. Well, when she looked at the box, it said one of the, not Blockbuster, but a similar video store, and the guy who had the house before owned a video store, and I guess they carried some toys there.
Interesting. Man, yeah, like,
very strange.
That is so cool, because Wheeled Warriors is another one of those things that I don't run into very often, especially not boxed. And man, I just love like crazy stories like that. Like they bought a house and just found these in the attic.
And this came with it too.
That's what? Wow.
Acrylic
paint by numbers of Action Comics #1.
Just sitting in the attic.
That is just so crazy. Man, that is cool. See the stories, man. The stories is that's part of what makes this all so much fun, I think. Look at that old price tag. $6.97 is what this would have run you. What a cool line, too.
Yeah, definitely.
This is awesome. This is a bike horn. Apparently a Ghostbusters bike horn from '84. Look at this. So it looks like the front of the Ecto. You can see where it would like attach to the handlebars on a bike. So this would be, you know, this little handle, this little crank would be on the back side where you'd be riding your bike. So you'd be riding down the street. How epic is that? Like, that's amazing. I love it. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
it's starting to split a little bit.
Yeah. Full box of this cereal. The cards that cut out on the back. I feel like if you're around my age and you liked Ninja Turtles as a kid, you absolutely had this cereal bowl. We all had this. I definitely ate my breakfast out of this cereal bowl all the time. And it's crazy because, like, this cereal, it's like, this is one of those things from my childhood that I swear I can still taste when I think about it. Like, I just remember the flavor of this. And it was basically like just sweetened Chex with marshmallows. But I don't know, there was something that was so distinct about it that I still remember. They called them Ninja Nets. Crunchy, sweetened Ninja Nets. I'll never forget the commercial for it. This is amazing. Just an unopened box of old cereal. So I gotta say, one of the things I love seeing here is all the Micro Machines toys. This is something I don't feel like I talk about a lot, but I had a bunch of Micro Machines as a kid. And, you know, I didn't have a lot of Hot Wheels growing up, but I did have a lot of Micro Machines. I loved them. And I had this little aircraft carrier right here. And so, like, this was super nostalgic, just seeing this on the shelf. Really, really brought back, like, I think I got it for a Christmas when I was a kid. But there's also some great box stuff here. Like, look at this. We got a Car Wash City over here. We got this Highways and Byways drive-in. And then we've got Toolbox City. And I also had a version of this. Mine was a different color on the outside, but it was definitely the exact same cityscape on the inside. And I loved that thing. So this is very cool to see. So I love the old Ninja Turtles football. It's so amazing. I never did have one of these. I've never picked one of these up. But it is so cool looking. But I also really love, I want to show you guys these two, like, underneath the football. Like, I love these vintage, like, Sesame Street wall decorations. Like, how cool are these? And I want to say, like, these feel like, I feel like I had stuff similar to this hanging up in my room when I was a very young kid, because this stuff looks familiar to me. So I don't know if that means I had something similar or if I just remember seeing stuff like this, but I don't know. I love this Oscar. That is so cool. I love trash. Signed Oscar. Me too, Oscar. Me too. That rad football. That's pretty rad. All right, so we got some bins. Let's look at some loose figures up here. I always like digging through just to see what we got. Oh yeah, look, we got Poison Ivy and a Robin here. We got Too Bad. Nice round back Too Bad there. We got a dark brown-haired Tila over here. So there's some nice stuff. Everything in here is $4. And then we got some bag stuff down here, which is always fun to see. We got some Kenner Swamp Thing, which is such a great line. I got Rattler down here with the yellow neck. Oh, we got some Extreme Ghostbusters. Look at that. Nice. Toy Biz Dr. Doom. Oh, a fat stack of cash. Just hanging out in here. Got some trolls. Some little old vintage trolls. Little keychains. Ooh. I actually really like this Batman. I think this is one of the ones from the Dark Knight collection, but it's cool because it's like a very basic movie-style Batman costume. But it's definitely, this looks like Kenner, not Toy Biz. Yes, this is in fact the Kenner one. Yeah, that's a nice Batman. I'm a big fan of these lines. So this is why I made the trip. This is why I'm excited right now. So, first of all, okay, so like, with this whole thing, the way this came up is our mutual friend Jason sent me a message, and he was just asking me about this specifically, which, by the way, this is something else that I'm picking up, and I am so thrilled about it. This old gift set, the He-Man and Battle Cat gift set, the box art is amazing. So Jason was asking me questions about this. Basically, like, we were kind of doing that thing where he was like, you know, what do we need to look for in this? You know, can you help us make sure this is legit or whatever? So I was kind of like giving him some stuff to look for, and we were talking back and forth, and I was instantly like, okay, well, now I'm interested in that. So you know, like, let's start figuring that part out. So then he sends me a picture of just like, well, this is all the other stuff he got in. And there's this one photo that I'm going to throw up because it's just this pile of He-Man figures in a case, but there's something about it that immediately, like me, I was just like, wait. So then the discussion completely shifted to what's in this little bag right here. Is this okay? May I?
You may.
All right. So this is what I'm here for today. And we're going to go ahead and let's do the reveal. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this is Savage He-Man, but most people know him as Wonder Bread He-Man. And he has been the stuff of legend for so long now, but it's been really interesting because just over the course of this past couple years, more and more information has been surfacing, helping us verify this. I know that we've done a bunch of research, myself, my good friend and partner Val Staples, especially when we were working on the book, we did a lot of research. Scott Knightlick, the toy guru, just put out a bombshell with a bunch of new information. So like, this thing started out as this huge mystery, but more and more confirmation has come out about where this guy has surfaced, where he's come from. I was able to see and photograph several of these when I was working on the book, but I didn't own one myself. So I've been wanting to get one for quite some time, and that's where you came in. You've got a pretty good story that goes with all this, right?
Oh yeah, it was interesting. Actually, I didn't even return the call immediately. We get a lot of calls.
Yeah.
You know, we've got some He-Man figures. Well, yeah, a lot of us have a few He-Man figures.
Of course, yeah.
So I didn't think much of it. And he called back in. He said, I live out in the countryside. I'm coming in. We're getting a new house, and I've been moving my childhood toys 2 times now, and I don't want them anymore. The kids don't want them. He grew up on a farm. What his favorite things were Erdl toy tractors.
Yeah, yeah.
He showed me pictures of his toy tractor collection, and it's impressive. But he had all this stuff from the early 80s that he didn't care anything about.
Wow.
And I said, can you send pictures? Well, he started sending pictures. And I see this in the box, and there were a few other He-Man items in the box. And he just said, I have a bunch of loose figures. I don't even know if there's weapons there. But he said, I didn't really play with them. We displayed them, and there's an interesting story with this, I'll tell you. And he's like, this just wasn't what I was into. I was into my toy tractors. So this all got put away. The Transformers G1, some of them had never been opened. They're still sealed.
That's amazing.
And
That's amazing.
I about flipped. And then he brings it in, and he brings in his case of He-Man figures. And immediately in the top of the case, I see Savage He-Man. And I said, do you know what you have? And he said, yeah, they're my childhood toys. And I said, do you know what this one is? He's like, we mailed in for it. I don't know. It looks like a He-Man with dark hair. And I said, well, it is. But I said, it's really special.
It's a little more
and
special.
It's worth more than the other items you have here. And you're going to be happy with the number I shoot you, because he really was just kind of purging. He didn't expect a whole lot of money. He didn't do any research. But I've got a toy shop, and I'll tell you, if I know what it is, I'm going to give you a fair price. And I said, well, this is the amount I'll give you for all the He-Man stuff, and this is the amount I'll give you for the Transformers, and he had some Star Wars stuff too, Empire Strikes Back. And he about flipped. He's like, why? And I said,
because we are crazy.
I said, this is really rare. I said, in 35 years of collecting, this is the first one I've held in my hands.
Yeah.
And I said, now I've had this loose, but I've never had a nice one with a nice box. Now, the only thing that's missing there is He-Man's sword.
Yeah,
and it was loose. It had fallen out when he drug everything in here, not even thinking about, to handle it carefully.
Yeah.
So I'm picking up the insert from the floor, and I'm looking at the weapons. I said, is He-Man's sword there? And he's like, no, I threw that at my sister the year we got this, and I don't know where the sword is at. I'm like, not a big deal. I think the swords are all the same, So I told him, don't worry about the sword. You're going to be happy with the money I'm paying you for the whole collection. And he was thrilled. So that is how I also have never had one before.
That's amazing.
But he does recall them mailing in for it.
And that, I think that is just so amazing to me, because like this stuff didn't come to you from a collector.
No,
this is
original
stuff,
owner. Yeah.
Like, he's had this since he was a kid. He didn't even play with it really, because he cared more about the tractors than these.
Yep.
And here these are just coming into the store all these years later. And once again, that's more kind of support for the story that these were mail-aways.
Yeah.
Like the Midwest here specifically seems to be where a lot of those stories are coming from. And it's really amazing. And you can see he's got some of the brown weapons here, which has been another like big mystery, because it's kind of like the weapons have been one of the biggest controversies with it, because these also came with some versions of Manny Faces.
Right.
The Manny Weapons version of Manny Faces had some of these weapons too. But you will notice he does not have the black Zodak armor. That did not come with this figure. He was not a Wonder Bread offer. There's stuff like that has been totally, we found that to be non-factual by this point. But everybody still calls him Wonder Bread He-Man, even though he has nothing to do with that. But it's amazing just hearing the story, like that's part of what blew me away about this. That this guy just had this thing sitting in his pile of loose figures since he was a kid. No idea. He had no idea. I love that. That is amazing. So there's some things we should definitely talk about with this to distinguish like what makes this special and how you can tell that this is like a legit thing. So I'll point out a couple things, but some of the things you want to look at is like the neck. You can see the little gap there. The hair color should be a different color from the trunks. You can see the hair's a little darker than the trunks. The boots are dipped, which is why they should be solid black, and why you'll see that paint line above the boots a little bit. He has a belly button, which is one of the biggest tells, because a lot of the He-Man figures after the first year stopped having the belly button. The solid black belt. So stuff like that is what you want to look for. I would also recommend you guys go check out my good friend over at the Battle Ram blog. He's got a whole article on how to identify this. I'll link to it if you guys really want to check that out. I bugged Andy for a ton of pictures of this, and then I got them verified with everybody that I know. I was sending pictures to all the big collector friends that I have, everybody that's really into the high-end stuff, and I was like, what do you think? What do you think? And I got all these opinions. So I wanted to be extra sure, but I think that's important, right? Especially with stuff like this.
Yep.
But this is just an amazing find and an amazing story that goes with it. So this is awesome.
And anything that comes in rare, super rare like that, like double telescoping saber stuff for Star Wars.
Yes.
I only buy from original owners. I don't buy from the internet. And I know I'm lucky because I have a shop I can do that.
Yeah.
But that just, helps me keep it in order, that we don't end up with repaints and repops. So I'm buying from original owners, and
that's
I
why,
bet them too. But
yeah, exactly. Well, that's why I've never just popped on eBay to buy one of these.
No way.
Because I want to be able to inspect it. I want to be able to really get extra photos and make sure I can verify it. So that's just my 2 cents on the whole thing. My suggestion.
And the best thing is, especially if you're buying from an original owner, well, first of all, be fair to them. If you know what you got or what they've got. And both times when this is my first time with him, but I've had some DT Star Wars Kenobi and Luke's, and they didn't know what they had. It's been sitting in their basement since 1978, and they're wondering why I'm drooling over this long lightsaber.
Right.
And I'm like, this is really rare. You must have got this at the very beginning. And they're like, yeah, probably. They didn't know. They would have sold it for $10, and I told them, this is more like an $800-900 piece, even kinked and broken.
Man,
and that's another tell when you get that from the original owners. They're not generally toy collectors. This might have been just something they had as a kid. Mm-hmm. But so you've got to educate them a little bit, and be fair with them, like what you're looking at and what they're looking at, just so they understand. He played with them a little bit, but it doesn't look like it got, except for the sword he threw at his sister. But
man, that is amazing. Gosh, and the artwork on this is just incredible.
Really neat.
I love too, because you can tell it's just that really early concept stuff. Because like Skeletor and Beastman are on their own battle cats.
Right.
Oh, that is just the best, man. I mean, gosh, come on, so good. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. He-Man rides the fierce armored tiger into battle. From MOTU. From Venture. Yeah.
You know a little bit about Venture.
I do.
They were huge.
Oh, I love he wrote all of... Oh, look, he did the checklist thing. He did the checklist thing. Got Zodak, got Beastman, got Skeletor, got He-Man. He didn't get the Wind Raider.
Right.
He got his Castle Grayskull, though.
Yeah, that's his castle over there.
Yeah, we got to look at that too. So I didn't even realize this, but I came in and saw the Castle Grayskull, and I have Castle Grayskull. I have a couple Castle Grayskulls. What I don't have is the box. And with Masters, for me, it's like the artwork is part of the collection. I love the box art. So this thing is gorgeous. Just seeing this box with a Kmart price tag. $21 at Kmart is what that costs. But I love this too because all the paperwork is in here. Look at this. I love seeing the paperwork with these. So beautiful. Look at this. Look at this Mattel Toys Consumer Affairs Department. How amazing is this? Oh, this is just so good. So that was his childhood Castle Grayskull too.
Yep.
That's amazing. Yeah. so much,
Nice
Andy.
to
I
see you
really,
again.
really appreciate it. We'll do this.
Thanks
next
lots.
thing. Yeah, man. I really appreciate it. This was awesome. The store is
A lot of
great.
fun. Thank you.
The store is great. And I made sure like andystoys.com.
That's us.
You guys can check out Andy's Toys, especially if you're ever here in the St. Louis area, because it's a rad little shop, man. I
Thanks.
really appreciate you having us
Thank
in
you.
here.
You bet.
Awesome.
Anytime.
All right, cool, man. Man, what a rush. What a rush. Great shop. Andy's a great dude. The stories that go with everything I bought is just, that is probably one of the best things about this, right? I love that I've got these great stories to go along with this amazing Grail piece to add to my collection. So if you're ever in St. Louis, Missouri, make sure you head on over and check out Andy's Toys. Until next time, my friends.